From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
And good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on your MTN statewide news on this Monday. I'm Andrea Lutz. It is official. Last night's NFL games decided what teams will be a part of Super Bowl 55. Many of you probably watching. We're going to get to this trending story in just a minute. But first, another round of coronavirus relief talks have started at the White House. Their proposed price tag is $1.9 trillion. Many Republicans are opposing spending that much. However, the deal could still be pushed through without Republican support. The new relief includes $1,400 in stimulus checks, more money for schools, unemployment, and vaccinations. House Democrats are expected to bring an article of impeachment to the Senate later today. The single charge of incitement of insurrection against the now former President Trump is the result of the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. As of now, only a few Republican senators seem to be in favor of a conviction. Senate trial arguments are set to begin February 8th. If Trump is charged, senators can then take a separate vote on whether he's allowed to run for office again. President Biden is expected to announce a ban on non-U.S. citizens entering the country who have recently been in South Africa. The president is also expected to be reimposing that entry ban on nearly all non-U.S. travelers who have been in Brazil and the United Kingdom, Ireland, and 26 countries in Europe. It's due to the new COVID-19 variant spreading throughout the world. It does undo an order by former President Trump that called for relaxing those restrictions. Well, starting today in Great Falls, the second round of COVID-19 vaccines are being administered to hundreds of people. Those people have already been receiving their initial vaccine. In Phase 1B, COVID-19 vaccines are available to Montanans 70 and older and 16 to 69 years of age with a high-risk medical condition and Native Americans who may be at elevated risk for COVID-19 complications. Since President Biden announced that he'd be stopping the permit to build the Keystone XL Pipeline, some Montana political leaders are expressing outrage. The pipeline would enter the eastern part of Montana, and supporters say thousands of Montanans would have been hired to do the work. MTN's Matt Hazapel breaks down these claims.
His first foreign leader call, will be on Friday with Prime Minister Trudeau. I expect they will certainly discuss the important relationship with Canada, as well as his decision on the Keystone Pipeline.
That decision by President Joe Biden to revoke the March 2019 permit awarded to Canada-based corporation TC Energy drew strong criticism from some of Montana's elected officials. So let's break down some of those claims. Let's start with this January 20th letter from Governor Greg Gianforte to President Biden. In the letter, Governor Gianforte makes the following claims. The pipeline has bipartisan congressional support in Montana. Thousands of American jobs will be lost, as will hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue to support local schools and communities. In 2015, Democratic Senator John Tester joined several other Democrats in voting with Republicans to override President Obama's veto of a bill approving the construction of the pipeline. Then in May 2016, the state of Montana filed briefs supporting TC Energy, then called TransCanada's lawsuit against the Obama administration. So that claim is true. The pipeline does have support from members of both parties in Montana. The next claim is something that Senator Steve Daines echoed recently, that revoking this permit will kill American jobs. This is a common claim, and while it's true, context is important here. The TC Energy Group has already said they will eliminate over 1,000 jobs after the permit was revoked. Back in 2014, the State Department released a report putting the total number of jobs created by the project at 42,100. However, that same report conceded that many of those jobs were temporary and said that over 16,000 of those jobs would be contract-based. Also, it's important to understand here that many construction jobs rely on temporary projects. According to the report from the State Department, once the proposed project became operational, it would only require 50 total employees in the U.S., 35 permanent, and 15 temporary contractors. As for the final claim that millions of dollars of local revenue will be lost, the State Department said property tax revenue during operations would be substantial for many counties. For reference, the proposed pipeline would have gone through 27 counties, including 6 in Montana. The total estimated property tax from the pipeline's first full year in operation, approximately $55.6 million, spread across the 27 counties.
And in his letter, Governor Greg Gianforte also asked President Biden to reconsider the executive order. All right, last night's NFL game has decided what teams are going to be a part of Super Bowl 55. Of course, the Kansas City Chiefs will face off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Chiefs will go for back-to-back titles. Meanwhile, the Bucs will become the first team to play on home turf. And the National Football League is going to allow 22,000 fans to attend that Super Bowl. That includes 7,000 vaccinated healthcare workers. Healthcare workers will be recognized with tributes. The game takes place February 7th, right here on CBS. And we're all going to be watching it, and we're not going to be outside enjoying the weather, are we?
Oh, are you a big football fan?
I mean, I have my own thoughts about these two teams, but that's neither here nor there, Miller.
You know, something, I read this poll earlier today. Did you know that 1 in 5 women and 1 in 6 men think that the Super Bowl is actually predetermined, that it's fixed?
Wow.
And a lot of them are pointing to the fact that Tom Brady's back there with a new team, and he's what, 43 years old. I don't know.
I mean, just saying, you know.
I just hope it's a good game. We've been very, very lucky the last several years, but man, if it's a blowout in the first and second quarter, just watch for the commercials, I guess. Yeah. Excuse me. She did talk about the weather. Let's go ahead and jump right in there. That's what I get paid the big bucks for. We got temperatures out there right now in the teens and 20s. Let's just take it from the high line. Havre, we're at 14, 10 at Cut Bank. Down in Bozeman, we're at 22. Northern Wyoming, we're sitting in the 20s as well. Southeast corner of the state of Montana, northeast corner of Wyoming saw some really thick fog this morning, and there's still the possibility we could see that tonight through tomorrow morning. You can see we still have some limited visual down to like a quarter of a mile right now in Miles City. This actually could migrate further into central Wyoming and northern parts of or southern parts of Montana as well. We're going to tell you about that, and there's the possibility of possibly seeing some more snow over the course of the next few days. Where could that hit? I'll let you know with that main forecast coming up. Andrew.
All right, thanks, Miller. Now that the inauguration is over, Montana National Guard's troops will be heading home. The soldiers left for the Capitol 2 weeks ago. The exact date of their return, though, is still to be determined. Major Dan Bushnell says the Guard was happy to help, but they are anxious to get home. And troops did receive the COVID-19 vaccine. They'll be tested for the virus before they leave D.C. The Downtown Missoula Partnership is encouraging people to support a new local campaign. It's the first ever Downtown Dine Local, and it starts today going to Sunday. The public can sample specials at over 24 establishments, and officials say this time of year is traditionally slow, but the pandemic has placed an ongoing financial strain on businesses. We do have more news coming up after the break, and we've got Miller back in with another look at that statewide weather forecast.